The hardest part about running a creative business is balancing the creative side and the business side. That comes in a couple of different ways. Today, it came in the form of managing how many freaking calls I had today. That being said, I love taking calls. I actually love speaking to people, especially in a business setting. But if I'm being honest, right, as a manga and webtoon serialized author, I have to write thousands of words that are publishable, which means that they have to go into production that day, or like, let's say, the next day. And that's because the next day I have another batch of different series that I have to work on, and it continues. So each day I have a set series that I typically focus on writing for, and then just like the next day I'm doing a different project, XYZ. But sometimes on certain days, like today, I had, let's say, like 6 hours straight of nonstop calling. If I'm only awake for, let's say, 16 hours a day because I need 8 hours of sleep, in 6 of those 16 hours, let's say, if I nonstop work, that means I didn't eat food and I didn't work out. That leaves me, let's say like 10 hours just to finish all of the writing that I have for that day. And that's not even just writing, that's also like production work, because I'm pretty heavily involved in like the art production and that kind of stuff, and managing individuals, managing my marketing team, all that kind of stuff. And it's just tough, man, because on one hand, I need these calls to, one, if it's an internal call, like align on different project deadlines, different project directions, that kind of stuff. Or if it's a business development call, then I need to obviously make those calls to get more opportunities in the anime, manga, webtoon space. I always need to take those calls. I'm happy to take those calls. But I just wish I could clone myself. And sometimes people are like, why don't you outsource the business development side? But well, I want to maintain those relationships myself as well. So that's why I take those calls. And they also want to speak to me. They don't want to speak to a representative of me. They want to speak to me because they want me to write the project. So, and then if you were to do the other side, which is, hey, Brandon, why don't you outsource the writing? Then why would I have gotten into this business? I'm living the dream job. My favorite part is the writing. I don't want to outsource that stuff ever. That's something I hope to do until I die, So it's tough. I'm not really sure what the right balance is. Maybe it's outsourcing some of the calls, like the calls that are not necessarily requiring me on them. But also the only reason I've gotten where I am is by taking these calls myself. So who freaking knows?